I hope we're live. I was so nervous that I would mess this up, so hopefully everything is set up correctly, and let me know if you can see me. Let me know if there's a picnic going on, or hopefully at least everything is working. I'm just going to wait for the chat to acknowledge that stuff is working. I can do this, I guess. Okay, it's working. I'm live. Okay, cool. As you can see, some of you at least will recognize this screen here. I'm going to do some Saturn games. And I have a couple of games planned. We'll see how we fit this into the 2-hour slot here. But we're going to start right off. And the first game that I'm going to play today is a game that it's one of my favorite Saturn games, actually. It's Saturn Bomberman. And I think this is a kind of an overlooked entry into a really good series of games. A lot of people really like the Super Nintendo games, but I'm going to assume that's because they only play those games. I didn't play the actual good ones. So this one is really, really cool. It has support for 10 players, lots of different cool stages and characters, and all kinds of awesome stuff. So let's check it out. Of course, let me know if the audio is weird or anything like that. Should do this. Let's watch this beautiful intro here. So yeah, they did release a special multi-tap controller adapter for this game, which I do have. And if you have 2 of those, you can connect up to 10 players. I've never played this with 10 players, but I've played it with 6 quite a bit, and even that gets crazy enough. This game actually has a lot of there's like 2 different single-player modes. There's one kind of traditional single-player arcade mode with different levels where you have to kill the enemies and fight bosses and stuff. There's also a mode called the Master Mode, which is it's a little different, but it's so the normal like arcade mode is for 1 or 2 players, I think, and the Master Mode is only 1 player. Hells Angel 79. When you play with 10 players, you play on a different stage where everything's zoomed out. And that's kind of one of the reasons I'm not super thrilled with the 10-player mode, because one of the cool things about this game is all the different stages. But having said that, I've never actually played the 10-player mode, so I don't really know. I shouldn't say too much about it. But again, even with like 6 players on a normal stage, it's insane. Alright, let's go. Bomberman. So of course, make sure it's stereo for that high-def experience. One nice thing about this game too, you get to set up controls. You actually have like separate buttons for, it says like the kick stop. When you kick the bomb with the power-up, you can actually stop it mid-screen and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. So yeah, on another note, you might have noticed that this is all in Japanese. I collect Japanese games, mainly. I collect like Saturn, Mega Drive, Super Famicom games, PlayStation, all kinds of stuff. But this game is available in English, as far as I know. Luckily, it's not too text-intensive. As long as you can figure out how to set the game up, it's perfectly playable even in Japanese. But just to make sure no one is totally lost, I'm going to explain basically what I'm setting up here. So I thought I'm going to do a bit of play the battle mode a bit. To show that off, because that's really the meat and potatoes of this game. The single player modes are pretty cool. You know, they're fun, but you know, this is what it's really about. So there's two different modes really in the battle mode. There's match play and B League. The league, you can actually save the game, and you can you play like a series of matches and keep score and everything. But we're just gonna do match play, which is basically a single game. Ooh, actually, I forgot here because there's a little cheat here. I'm gonna hold the L and R triggers for a few seconds, so you're gonna hear a noise. See that little chime right there? That's a little secret code to enable two hidden characters. We're going to see them in a second. So first, we're going to set up the not exactly the rules, but like the mode we're going to be playing in. So first off, we're going to pick between normal and wide stage. We're going to do normal stage, and the wide is really only for 10 player. Like you can play in the wide stage with fewer players, but there's no point if you ask me. Mode, singles or tag. Tag basically means teams. I'm gonna do a quick singles match first to show it off to, if anyone, I doubt it, but maybe someone here never saw or played Bomberman before. So we're gonna do a super quick, just one-on-one game to show how the game works. So we're set here how many players and characters you're gonna have. And you can see you can only pick up to 8 on a normal stage. If we set it to wide, we can do all 10. But we're just going to have me and a computer opponent here. So for the rules, how many rounds? We're going to set it to just 1 round. Let's just do it super short, 1 minute. Shuffle, sudden death, double. Well, these don't really matter much, so we'll just do it like this. Difficulty level, I kind of get wrecked even on the lowest, so we'll keep it at 1. I love this game, but I'm not very good at it. So here we get to the bomber screen. So here we get to pick our characters. And this is one of the really cool things I think about this game. Most Bomberman games either only have Bomberman of different colors, like the white and black Bomberman here, or in some cases I think the Mega Bomberman on the Mega Drive has like Fat Bomberman and Short Bomberman and Grandpa Bomberman and whatever. But this game actually has like an all-star cast of Hudson characters. I don't exactly know who everyone is. Maybe you nerds in the chat can help me out. So of course, here's the white and black Bomberman. This is Honey, who I guess was some sort of mascot for Hudson. I don't know if this is Kotetsu or something. I'm not sure who this guy is. This is Milon, who is from Milon's Secret Castle on the NES. Kind of an infamous, very difficult puzzle platformer with a bunch of hidden stuff. I understand it's quite popular in Japan, but in the West it's like definitely Kusuge status. Here's Takahashi Meijin, aka Master Higgins from the Adventure Island series. PC Genjin, aka Bonk, of course, the like platform game hero from the PC Engine. This is Manjimaru, who is, I think, the hero from Tengai Makyo, or Far East of Eden, which is a series of RPGs. Kabuki and whoever, like, I don't know these characters at all. Yeah, STC. In Japan, it's like, it's not Kusuge, but in the West, definitely it's Kusuge status. Okay, so this guy's from Tengai Makyo 2. Alright. So these two, Manto and Yuna, these two are the hidden characters. So yeah, I would just expect most of these like medieval looking dudes to be from the Tengai Makyo games. Okay, so let's, I'll pick Manjimaru here and we'll go up against everyone's favorite Milan. And then we get to pick the stage. So this is the selection of stages we have here, and the first stage here is this is like the standard Bomberman arena. Yuna is Galaxy Fräulein Yuna. Okay, cool. Never heard of it, but now I know. So each of the stages have like their different gimmicks. Some of the stages have sort of traps. Some stages have different ways of interacting with the environment. And actually, most of the stages also have a different set of power-ups that you can pick up. Some power-ups are the same on all stages. Like, you can always find power-ups to be able to put out more bombs. You can find power-ups to make your explosions bigger and stuff like that, the generic ones. But some weapons have like different. Some stages have different weapons. Like this, the jungle level has mines, and I think there's some other stage that has some like remote detonation stuff. This, like the carnival stage, has trampolines you can bounce around on. Ninja House has these hidden panels on the floor where you, like normal floor, you step on it and you stand there for a second. It sort of flips open like this, and it pushes you over one tile, so it gets super frantic. Kikai the Go-Go, the factory stage, has like these arrows on the floor, and if you kick the bomb onto an arrow, it'll switch direction, so you can get these crazy patterns where you kick a bomb and it just bounces around all over the stage. It's kind of nuts. Fire Goal is probably my favorite, the soccer stage. If you kick a bomb into either of the goals, you'll hear a Bomberman scream like "Goal!" and then it just shoots fire all out of the stage. It's pretty crazy. We can do the factory stage. Whatever, we're just gonna do this super quick. So you see I'm up there on the top left, and the middle one's down there. So what you do, of course, is you place these bombs, and the static tiles are not destructible, but all these animated ones are destructible. And underneath them, you find different types of power-ups. So I got one that increases my movement speed, and I think I got one that makes my explosion bigger. Alright, we're playing with very short matches here, so sudden death is already... okay, and he just killed himself. So I usually get wrecked, but sometimes they just kill themselves. So by being the last person alive, you win the game. And since we only played one round, that's it. I won the game. So now everyone knows how this works. Let's do a little bigger game here. Let's add some people here, and let's do let's do 6 players. And actually, let's set it to tag. We'll do some team games here. I think, well, yeah, let's increase this to two rounds to win. And yeah, let's do 2 minutes. 1 minute. I set it low on purpose because I just wanted that to be over quickly. There's a few different settings here. Shuffle means the spawn positions are random every time. If you turn it off, the spawn positions are fixed. Misobong makes you, after you're eliminated, you can still, you ride a little spaceship outside of the stage and you can shoot bombs onto the stage. I think with like 6 players or more, this gets really crazy, so we're going to leave this turned off. Matches are going to be pretty short and hectic anyway. Calm level 1, that's pretty good. So let's switch up here, because we added players, we need to select who's playing who. I'm going to go with Manto here, because he's the coolest. And who we're going to team up with? Let's go with Honey. And we're going to pick, we're doing 6 players, so we could do 3-on-3. We could do 1 against 5, or you can arrange the teams any way you want, but we're gonna do 3 teams of 2 rather. So let's get a Bomberman team, and everyone loves Adventure Island and Bonk, so let's get Takashi Meijin and PC Genjin in there. All right, we have our lineup decided, and now we get to arrange our teams. So player 1, that's me. I'll be on the white team, and so will she. So I can add more players to this team if I want, or I can add them here, and we can use whichever teams we want. So let's go with white, blue, and green. Why not? All right, I think we're good to go. So let's pick our stage here, and when you play this mode, you play multiple rounds. You cannot switch stage between rounds, so we'll pick one. And like I said, this one is probably my favorite, so let's do this one. So you can see now up top, the characters are all arranged by color there, so you can see who's on which team. And I'm right there in the center. It's always kind of a hectic when you play with shuffle on to figure out where you're at the start of a round. So this little icon right here that I'm next to, this is the kick power-up. When I pick this up, I can kick bombs like that. That's very convenient, especially on this stage where you can kick the bombs into the goal, as I mentioned. I'm a bit handicapped right now because I only have, okay, this is good, speed up, dinosaur. The dinosaurs have different abilities, like the pink one here can jump. But they also give you an extra hit point, basically. So check this out. I almost killed myself. Hey, I got the white bomber. This is so much fun. So these, the icons with a little bomb, means you can place one more bomb on screen. The fire here gives you longer range during your explosion. Last spurt! Okay, let's, so unfortunately, you see, when there's a little time left, these 1-ton weights, not 16 like in Toki, they yeah, they come down here to sort of limit the area they can move around in. And they can make things really hectic. Okay, got him. One hit, and I... Okay. It seems like he only has one bomb. I'm not I'm not able to talk much at this point because I'm really getting sort of stressed out over everything here. It's down to the wire. Okay, got him. Whew. All right, that was a little bit more intense than I had expected. All right, so we have one win on the board here, and we're back for round 2. So this time I'm at the bottom left corner. Classic thing to do, of course, when you start in the corner is to immediately, if you put the bomb in the wrong place, you can just kill yourself immediately, basically. It is pretty funny though, when you do that, there's like a special animation for each of the characters. I don't know if it's happened, if you've noticed it. Obviously, I'm paying closest attention to my own character here. But when you get locked in a corner, your character starts like crying or like freaking out. Like everyone has a different animation like that. It's pretty funny. Whoa, I have kicked. Wow, holy shit. So the skull thing makes you move super fast and it's like contagious. When you touch other people, it affects them too. Obviously, it's nice to move fast, but it can be a little too fast for your own good sometimes. So let's score some goals here. Okay, well, let's not kill ourselves doing it. So yeah, you can blow up pickups too. Quick, one more goal. Actually, I kind of don't want to win here because okay, so check out Bear's animation here. I kind of don't want to win because I want to get the game to go a little longer. But actually, Honey can still win here, and if she does, I win the game. Or we win the game, I should say. So let's see how they do. It seems like the AI, like it's pretty good. But the AI is not very well equipped to handle the arena shrinking. See, they like walk into a corner and get crushed fairly regularly. Okay, that went quicker than expected. I usually don't win 2 straight like this, even when deliberately killing myself. White team wins. Okay, so since that was a little quick, that's pretty good actually, because that means we have a little more time to we can look at another stage. We'll do another match, and so if you want, we can switch up the teams or rules or whatever, but we can just go right back into it, pick another stage. So do you have any requests? Like jungle, desert? I'm not going to play this one. This space station, you can like speed up and slow down. It's very like epilepsy inducing. But there's the what you call it, like amusement park type stage, ninja house, and the factory. And this one's kind of boring. Anyone in chat have any requests or suggestions for stages? Just wait for 20 seconds for the Twitch delay. If no one have any suggestions, then okay, Ninja House. Anyone else? Ah, screw it. Let's do it. It's a cool stage. I was gonna say if no one had any suggestions, I could do the factory. So that gets kind of nuts too. So, oh, all right, I'm in the center. So if you see, I stand here on these tiles with the purple things. You get pushed out like this. So that can get kind of crazy. A lot of the times, like the only place to hide is on that sort of tile. If I remember correctly, they don't actually, they won't push away bombs, but they will push away you. So. Ooh. Okay, so the power glove, okay, lets you pick up a bomb like this and throw it. It's a little tricky. You have to throw it immediately. You cannot walk up to a bomb and pick it up, I think, because you need to be like standing on the same tile as the bomb. But normally, you can't do that. You can only when you put a bomb out, it'll spawn on like your tile. But otherwise, they sort of act like barriers. Let's see if I can get these two guys. Well, they seem to be killing themselves off, so... Let's get another roller skate here, move a little faster. See if I can outmaneuver this guy. Oh shit! Or I'll just kill myself. That works too, I guess. Damn it. So one thing that I do feel is a little, a bit of a shame with this game. It's a very minor thing, but as you can tell, in the battle mode, there's only the one music track. It's this drum and bass version of the Bomberman theme. It's not bad, but it would be nice, you know, otherwise the presentation is so nice in this game, it would be kind of nice to have more music tracks. And of course you do, when you play the arcade mode, or the master mode, there's a bunch of different tracks. Yeah, I played myself. Alright, got her. Oh, actually, I think I killed my teammate. I kind of forgot we're playing teams. So the Bombermen are going to take this. Well, Takashi Meiji's just over there sleeping. Okay, he played himself too. So if they bounce, like they'll... Alright, I'll do this, I guess. Ah, there we go. Got him. Yeah, the music does get a little repetitive. That's true, Dougley. It's not bad, but it's like the 10-second loop. So yeah, after a good couple of hours, it's yep. Sure, this game is awesome. It's definitely one of my it's on my short list for like games you should definitely pick up if you get a Saturn. It's super fun, and if you collect Japanese stuff, which I would recommend, because Saturn, like, Japanese Saturn games are cheap, and there's a lot of great action games that don't require a lot of reading, and this is one of them. There is a second Bomberman game on the Saturn. Ooh, no, shit. There's a second one called Saturn Bomberman Fight, which I've never actually played. I'm very curious to play it. It looks a little different than this, because this is like the traditional Bomberman setup. But Saturn Bomberman Fight is it has this like isometric view, and it's in 3D. You have these like height differences in the levels. It looks kind of crazy, but it actually looks like there's been a couple of 3D versions of Bomberman throughout the years, and not all of them have been great. But Saturn Bomberman Fight actually looks pretty good. So that's definitely on my to buy list someday. So So we'll see. We can get a final round here, or you know, Bomber White there is on match point. Let's see who kills themselves first here. Ah, of course. Seems appropriate for Takashi Meijin to, I don't know, trip on something and kill himself. So that's the match decided then. And yeah, big congrats. Let's give Team Blue a big hand for a match well played. And yeah, that's Saturn Bomberman in a nutshell. There's a lot of variety in the stages, and you can change the rules to mix it up a bit. And like the single player mode's super cool too. So all things considered, this is an awesome game. I highly recommend it. But we have quite a few games to get through today in just 2 hours. So we're gonna move on from Saturn Bomberman here. And let's just quit out of this. And let's find out here, what is our next game gonna be? Let's do this here. The next game coming up is another perennial Saturn favorite. Another game that is available in all regions. Let's see here. My fancy setup here. It will be. Let me just do this and change this. DecAthlete. Another super duper fun game. It's kind of a track and field type game, but with like lovely, wonderful Sega aesthetics. And for this game, actually, I'm gonna want some audience participation here, because as you can see just from this picture, this game has really cool character designs. So I'm gonna ask you to help me out here. And who should I use? I have a little link here. It's gonna see it in chat. And get your votes in while I get the game started up. I'll give you a minute or two. And then let me know which character you want me to use. Spoiler, they don't really play very differently. They have like different events where they're better or worse in. Like you can see on the poll, it says they have like speed type or run type or throw type or whatever. But it doesn't really matter. It mostly comes down to mashing anyway. So so pick whoever you think looks coolest. All right, we're getting a few votes in here. I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna get the game started here in the background. Yeah, Goaty. There's no Italian, but there's El Reggiani, which doesn't sound super French. It's the closest we're gonna get. Just in the off chance someone missed the link, I'm gonna post it one more time here, and I'm gonna switch over to the game here. And we should probably change this too, right? So this is DecAthlete. And I'm realizing now that it seems my memory cartridge isn't really working, because normally the game asks if we use it. Well, whatever. We don't need save data for this anyway. Alright, it seems like Jeff Janssens is winning in a landslide here. Li Huang put up an honorable fight, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be Jeff Janssens. So the different modes here, there's like 10 event mode, arcade mode, practice mode, and options. In arcade mode, much like track and field, you need to reach like a certain score to proceed to the next event. When you play the 10 events mode, you'll just go through all 10 events regardless, and you'll get a total score at the end. So here again, we have all the different characters. But yeah, Jeff Janssens it is. So for the 100-meter dash, it's you might as well call it the 100-meter mash. It's just mash the run buttons, and you can press the action button right as you get to the goal, and you'll lean forwards.
Course number 1, Jeff Jansen, United Kingdom. Course number 2, Femi Kadiena.
Of course, we have
Jiggeh.
lovely 60 FPS 3D graphics on the Saturn.
On your mark. Get set.
Okay, I'm ready. It doesn't exactly look like a runner, but let's see what we can do with this. Alright, we got a new world record. So, let me fix this thing here. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we beat the world record, and unfortunately, like I said, I do have save data, but it didn't read my cartridge, so I guess we'll get to break a few new records here. So why not? You know, that's fun. So the 100-meter dash is just some sort of, it's kind of a warm-up event. It's pretty simple, just mash. But from now on, before each event, we'll get a little introduction and a little tutorial to show us how it works. The long jump. Day 1, event number 2. So, the explanation here. You have 2 buttons in this game, run button and action button. So for most events like this, you mash the run button, we get to the line here, you hold the action button, you see the little angle thing go up there, and 25 degrees is the ideal angle, let go, and then during the jump, press the action button again to sort of extend your legs for the landing. So in the arcade, this is an arcade game originally. It uses a stick and 2 buttons. On the Saturn version, you can map however many buttons you want as the run button, so you can sort of cheat a little bit. Okay, not great. You can actually, I've read on this like Japanese strategy wiki, the pro strats. Hang on here, let me just fix this. I need to mute my monitor here. The pro strats is to bind all the face buttons to run and the trigger to jump or action. But we're going to play fair and square. We're using the default settings, which is 2 run buttons, A and C, and B for action. Alright, 7:16. It's not quite a world record. It's a little bit better. Let's see if we can do even better than that. I extended my legs a little late there, but a few centimeters better. 7:20, 80 centimeters off the world record, I think. Not too bad considering this guy is a lumbering giant, so I think we should be quite happy with that. We got 859 points, so let's go next game. The shot put. So Jeff Jansen's is throw type character, so this should be his forte. Of course, I still need to not suck. So for this event, there's no mashing involved. It's just timing. You wait for the power gauge to reach max. You start holding the action button, and the angle will decrease from 70. And as you get closer to 45 degrees, you try to let go and hope for the best. So this is usually not an event I do all that well in. It's with my setup, I think it doesn't feel laggy, but there's probably a very slight input delay, which makes timing-based stuff like this a little tricky. Wow, okay, that looked really good. Probably could not do much better than that. New world record, first attempt. Of course, I don't usually do that well in this event, but I also don't usually play as this character. So maybe that's it. Whoops, I forgot to hold the button. That's fine. It's probably a better throw than I usually do. Yo! Well, he looks happy. Okay, let's try this again here. Okay, the angle's a little better. Power's not great. Well, we got the world record anyway, so we have nothing to be upset about. This many world records this quickly? Well, yeah, I am a pro streamer. So, yeah, I'll be getting a lot of world records. Well, we'll see, we'll see. I think probably there's going to be at least one more. I think I'll probably place, like, there's a top list, so you can see, you get this little cutscene. Even if you don't break the record, if you end up on, like, 3rd place or something. High jump. Looks a little funny, that image. It looks like he's doing it kind of backwards, or upside down, rather. But we'll see how this goes. So, okay, the instructions here. For this one, like most events, smash the run buttons to run. Hold the jump button, the action button. 45 degrees, I guess, is ideal. You start jumping, and then mid-air, push down on the stick to, I don't know, extend your legs, to not tear down the bar with your feet. So normally, like, I would kind of use both hands for mashing, but since you need the D-pad here, it gets a little trickier. So of course, here we have to use our judgment also for, like, what's a good height to try. We'll start at this, I guess. But it's also tricky because you have to find a good distance for your jump. That actually worked. That actually worked. So one cool thing here is you can see that it's the sun is setting. We're reaching the end of the end of the first day. So we get this lovely sunset. Oh wow! I even did it. So one of the things I like about this game, not just the graphics and presentation. What do you say? Let's try for the record. But the controls, like if you look at the high jump in like track and field or many of these games, it's kind of difficult to figure out how to do it. But this game is surprisingly intuitive for this sort of stuff. All right, no world record, but 206. It's not too bad for this. I don't know what to call him. This beast of a man. 400-meter race. Final event of the first day. Again, probably not this guy's strong suit, but we'll see how we do. So this is a little different. There's a few running events in this game. And the longer distance ones are not about just mashing as hard as you can. You can see there's a little stamina gauge there. And for the 400-meter race, we actually need to keep track of our stamina. We need to conserve our stamina a little bit. And this,
Get set.
Let's just get the start here. I find these events to actually be among the most difficult in this game. Even though you have the stamina meter there, it's like you don't really get a very good visual indication on like how to conserve the stamina. Like it's difficult to find a good rhythm. And the thing is, you can see that I build back the last block sometimes. After I stop mashing, like the meter stays at where it is, and then it starts to fall off kind of quickly. But if you happen to like lose all the stamina, you're like totally screwed. And as I was talking, I didn't notice the end of the line coming up there, and I got an accidental world record. How about that? I guess she got the world record too, but let's not worry about that. So here are the results for the first day. You can see we did pretty well in all the events. You can say that 1,000 points is kind of ideal, I guess. You can see in the events that I got the world record, I got a bit over 1,000. Except the last one, I guess. So this event, you can probably figure out how this works. Mash the run button and press the action button to jump over the hurdles. So this event is hilarious, and depending on my level of proness, you will find out why. I do not expect to get a world record in this event, but I expect us all to have a good time.
On your
Let's
mark,
check this out.
Get set.
So one of the challenges in this event is to try to do it without laughing. Okay, no world record, but close enough. Close enough. So I actually did pretty well there. I only hit a few of the hurdles. But the lovable thing here is that, like, depending on when in your jump you hit the hurdle, there's like a different animation. You can either sort of land on it, or you like hit your leg as you try to jump. I love this event. It's probably my favorite. But yeah, you know, almost a world record, almost 900 points. Yeah, if I hadn't screwed up those jumps, it would have been a world record for sure. I really hope we can get a 10,000 points at the end, but it's going to be tricky. I think we're going to be right at the... Yeah, we'll see. It could go either way. So this one's a little different. You twirl the stick. We'll get this little matrix effect here. It'll slow down, and at an appropriate angle, which is kind of tricky. Start holding the button. Going up to, again, 45 is the ideal, and let's go to throw. So this one kind of comes down to how well you manage to pull off the stick twirling. Needless to say, this is a little easier on an arcade stick than with a D-pad, but hopefully we'll do a decent enough job. This guy is throw type after all. Okay, that was a pretty terrible attempt. I could have got him quite a bit closer to 45 degrees. The spinning is kind of a crapshoot. I'm not sure that's even going to be a legal throw. Okay, we hit just barely, because you need to be inside the lines. So if I can possibly rotate this a little better here. Holy shit, okay. I was a bit too focused on everything else except the timing there, so I threw it straight up and a little bit off to the side, so it's a foul. I should have performed better in this event, I think. But it is very difficult. This is, yeah, I would say this is probably the most difficult event. But I still got 1,000 points, actually. That's really good. That's really good. I should not be too upset about this.
The pole vault.
Pole vault. Okay, yeah. So this is, of course, another event that's always super tricky in these games. But it's actually surprisingly understandable in this one. But let me explain. So you mash the run buttons, and the tricky part here is you start pressing the action button here when you hit the mark on the runway, but you need to still keep mashing the run. As you start jumping, you hold the button to build up your power gauge, and at appropriate timing, you let go to sort of start vaulting up there, and then you press the button again to let go of the pole. It's a little difficult to convey just by describing it. You kind of have to try it to get a feel for it. But it's not one of those things where you do it 50 times and still don't understand it. It only takes a couple of tries, really. So we need to get a decent score here. We need to push for that world record. So let's see how this goes. Up, okay. I was a little late there. You've got to be careful to not get the pole down before that white line, because you'll start just digging it through the ground. Okay, and it's important to get this right. Ooh, okay, this could get really ugly. Okay, I need to do it early now. I was hoping to get this jump and we can increase the height, but if I don't get this, if I get a 0 in this event, then 10,000 points is never going to happen. Alright, okay. So you can tell there, I was actually a little early with the pole going like just in the ground, but and I think the timing of the jump and everything, it was kind of ugly. It's a good thing the bar wasn't higher, because I think that's about as high as I could have done. 880, not a bad score actually, all things considered. I think the 10,000 is going to be very tough. The javelin throw, and someone will have to convince me that that's not a guy getting a spear through his head. I guess it's someone throwing a javelin. So this should be Jeff's strong suit as well here. So with any luck, we could get a good score here. And this actually works almost exactly like the long jump. Just mash the run, press the action button to get the angle right on the throw, and let go. The tricky thing here is to get the distance right for when you're supposed to start throwing, because he will take another step or two after throwing. So it's very easy to get a foul by overstepping the boundary. Also for this event, we get a lovely little rainbow border above the speed meter. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Wow, okay, that was a bit low. So it's tricky here because the angle thing is not like a linear ticking down. Like it starts very slow, but then it gets very fast. It's better. Okay, not that close to the world record. I think the angle is a little low. Let's try for a slightly higher angle, at least over 30, but 40 something I think is good. Could this be it? Ah! So close! So close, so close. Yo, Macaw, what's up? Okay, we got a third place world record. Let's see how many points that is. Is that also around 1,000 maybe? Let's hope it's a bit more. 1,021. We're at 8,700. Okay, so we're at the final event. Day 2, event 5, the 1,500 meter race. This is similar to the 400 meter race in that we have to run and we have to conserve our stamina. But we also have to navigate the field here because we have these, we're going to be running against one of the other characters from the game, and also, in addition, a field of lovely 2D CG athletes. And I'm not going to say too much, just enjoy the epic music and get ready for a good time. So it's me against Rick Blade here. So I have full control over my character. I can decide where he runs. See, the field here is coming up. And this is where it gets good here. We get to this bumper car aspect here where you sort of get in front of someone and you can relax a little bit, have them run into you, so I can conserve stamina like this. And then when he bumps into me, I get a little boost. And I'm pretty sure that's how running works in real life. But you still have to, like, it's difficult to get a good score in this event because it's very easy to rely too much on the pacing of the CG dudes here and just sort of relax and hold back. But if you do that, even if you win, even if you place first, you might get a time that's like quite a ways off the world record. It's also in this event much harder to regain stamina that you lose. So I'm gonna need to take it easy here. Try to get some boosts here by these lovely fellas. Okay, yeah, not bad. Not bad. We're about halfway through. We also get this lovely theme that's reminiscent of, but legally distinct from, Chariots of Fire, of course. So actually Rick Blade is using a bit more stamina than I have, so maybe that's an indication. Maybe I can afford to mash a little more. So this is going to be the final lap coming up, I assume. You can hear the crowd start chanting. I'm not exactly sure what they're chanting, but they're excited. So probably you should be too. Also, I'm using quite a lot of stamina here. I gotta be careful. Alright, but he is all decked out. See what happened there? He almost like come to a complete stop. Okay, 3-4 there. We're coming up. We might actually get a pretty good time here. Okay, home stretch. Let's try not to die here. Oh, I died. Okay. Fuck. I kind of messed up in the end, but it wouldn't have mattered. It only lost a second or two. But you can see there, I was actually quite a bit off the world record. It's a difficult event, and there's, we'll see what score we got. So day 1 scores and day 2 scores. 946, not bad. Whew, we did it, but we didn't quite get 10,000. 9,600 something. Not too bad. Not too bad. Since we're apparently the only person competing, we still get first place. There's one person in the crowd excited at least. Nice clipping there. Oh, you can see how happy this dude is. First place! Now we get to enjoy lovely Sega arcade style staff roll with some highlights from our performance out in the field. Yeah, good job, guys. Jeff Jansen's definitely performed today. So yeah, just like Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers in those games, you get a little replay here of how well we did. We get to see our world records and final scores and everything. 720, could have done better. Could have done better. Shot put, world record. High jump. We didn't quite get the record, but not a bad score. World record, the accidental world record in the 400-meter race. The almost world record in 110-meter hurdles. I guess we didn't get to see him trip up there. Discus, could have been better. Could have been better. Pole vault for sure. That was the blemish on our record today. We should for sure have gotten a better score than that. Javelin throw, so close to world record. I can taste it. 1500-meter race, not quite as close. Off by 10 seconds. And the final score, 9,669 points. And look at that gorgeous butt deforming. So amazing 3D in this game. Whew, that was intense, guys. I don't know about you, but I could use a shower after this. So we finished the 10 events mode, and that's pretty much all there is to this game. But it is a lot of fun, and it's super fun when you play. You can play 2-player, and some of the events you play together, competitively at the same time, and some events you take turns, like a long jump or whatever. And I can highly recommend playing this with 2 players, and I can highly recommend a working backup cartridge. Mine is a little iffy, but you can save your records and like compete for score, and I think that's actually a lot of fun. So I'm going to try something here that I read about that I didn't get to try. Let's see if it works. It worked. So this is a little Easter egg. It's only in the Japanese version. After you beat the arcade mode or the 10 events mode, if you hold X and start a new game, Joe gets replaced with this guy, Mankichi Kazami, who is the main character from a manga called DecAthlete, which was quite popular in Japan at the time, apparently. Yeah, Whitey Snakey, it's the cartridge slot for sure. The cart itself, I think, is fine, but it didn't load now anyway. That's the point. But you can tell when you start the game. If it doesn't ask you for it, you know that it didn't work, so you can sort of check it.
Mankichi Kazami, Japan.
So apparently this guy is like
Course number 2. Carl Vine.
apparently he's like really good.
Germany.
Let's see if we can break our 100-meter dashboard record. We should actually,
On your
because
mark.
Jeff is not the best runner.
Get set.
Yeah, we beat it quite handily. Has that Stiller Carl Vine? Maybe? Maybe not. Who knows? Oh yeah, let's. Obviously, that was SDC. Good job. Good job. Just got some of this stuff. So yeah, we got actually a really good score, but we're not going to go through a whole other 10 events. It would be fun. I would love to. This game is so much fun. But actually, let's move on. We have more games to cover today, so I'm gonna just skip out of this and jump back to the menu screen. The game will allow me. It's a little temperamental, it seems. Let's open this up. And let's see. What do we have next? I was a little torn, actually. I had a couple of ideas. And as I was preparing earlier today, I started having second thoughts about what to play. Because I figured out there's, beyond my sort of initial plan, there was another game that I kind of on a whim wanted to take a second look at. And I got kind of excited. So I think I might stream that. We'll see. We're at, what, about an hour in, barely. All right, that's we should at least do this then. Also, I should probably update here. The next game, it's kind of I don't know if you should call it a cult classic. It's a kind of popular game. I think it's a really good game. It's a quirky game. It is DecAthlete, aka, of course, Die Hard Arcade in the overseas version. So this is 3D beat 'em up. That is, the Japanese version is just very blatantly inspired by Die Hard, so much so that for the Western version they somehow, I guess, just fuck it, let's put the Die Hard name on it. But since I'm playing the Japanese version, it'll be Dynamite Deca. So this game is really, really difficult. I've practiced it a little bit. But a run can be anywhere from like, I don't know, 2 minutes to 20 minutes. We'll see how this goes. I'm probably going to do a few attempts. And you can see what I mean once I get started, because it's kind of crazy. But it's an awesome game. I love it. So let's hop back over here. Change this. It's kind of interesting. Like it's you could say it's kind of like, I don't know if Final Fight is a good example, but like some of these beat 'em ups where it's fun. You can do a lot of cool stuff, but if you mess up once, if you like get hit by one enemy, you can lose like your life immediately. And the music is like super epic, but I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit because it's almost too loud, so you can't even hear anything else. Movie scenes on, obviously. The cutscenes are amazing in this game. Violence on, I'm not sure what turning this off does, and I'm not interested in finding out. So Deep Scan, by the way, this is a very old Sega arcade game, and if you pick this, you can get to play it. Screw it, I can actually just show it super quick. The actual point of this game, the reason it's included, is so what I do here is I can drop these to the left or right. And if I get enough points, you can see it says there, extend every 200. Or first at 50. I didn't really pay attention there. But it says credits. So if you play this and get a good score, you'll actually have more credits for the real game, for Dynamite DecAthlete here. So that's kind of a cute little Easter egg. But we're going to make do with a standard 4 credits. So let's see what's happening here. And let's hope I remember how to play this. Okay. Oh, not a good start. Not a good start. Let's see. If we grab this. Yeah. So you have these super awesome wrestling moves in this game. Oh, I actually don't do the same one. I should have killed that guy first because then you get a health pickup. But yeah, you can see I already lost a considerable chunk, and you only have 1 life per credit. So, like I said, mess up once and it's very costly. Down attack. Yeah, giant swing. So that's a little dangerous. That guy's gonna kick. Oh, I walked into the fan blade, okay. Got him. So the lady's gonna come in here. Health pickup. Let's pick up the gun here. So as you may notice, even though this is a 3D game, the gameplay is entirely sort of not two-dimensional exactly, but you can only face left or right. You cannot attack upwards or downwards. So here we have these QTEs. These are awesome. Kick. Got it. Success. This is so satisfying. So if you don't get that, if you fail it, you have to fight that extra guy. Okay, so here there's going to be a guy with a rocket launcher. We need to take him out pretty quick, or else he can, yeah, he can destroy the dream real quick. Oh, okay, we need to do the special attack there. When they do that, they'll... No. That means they're gonna kick when they get up. Okay. Yeah, so that can happen. So we're already down 1 credit. That's not good. We need to get that rocket launcher because it's gonna be crucial for the next guy. Well, not this guy, but there's a guy coming up. So let's just grab it now. You can see there, if you have full health and you pick up more health, you actually get a little bonus health. So much of the strategy in this game revolves around sort of aligning yourself, or not aligning yourself vertically, to either ensure that you can attack or to avoid their attacks. When the enemies have guns, you need to be very careful about lining up with them, because they can only shoot you if you're on the same like Z-axis, like in a 2D beat 'em up. Hell's Angels, there are tons of different attacks in this game. I actually looked up, again, a Japanese strategy wiki to figure it out. Forward plus jump plus kick to do the spinning jump kick. Yeah, a lot of attacks are straight out of Virtua Fighter. One of the throws I did, the DDT thing, that's one of Sarah's throws. The giant swing, of course, is Wolf's most damaging throw in Virtua Fighter 2. You can also do Kage's 10-foot toss and a Frankensteiner. Let's see if we can get one of those here. There's some sort of pile driver. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So there's a person coming here. Yep. Whoop, okay. So there's a Frankensteiner. So there's a spray can here. If I'd managed to pick up the lighter in the previous screen, I could actually use them together. Okay, this is not good. Yeah. Roll out of the way. Okay, let's... Got him, okay. Ooh, we dropped health. Okay. We have a very short time to grab those extra pickups. Okay, cutscene again, or QTE. Jump! Okay, got it. So this screen's pretty tough. There's a guy with a machine gun we have to be very careful about. And the fire truck is going to be spraying water. But if we stay far off to the side, we can avoid it. So we need to be sure not to align there, see, with the machine gun guy. It's pretty good. But you can make use of the water spray here, yeah. See if we can grab him. Grabbing is a little tough sometimes. Okay, one guy dead. We're doing pretty good, actually. Alright, perfect. So we can hit the other guy with the giant swing. Not good. So we can do these dashing attacks and stuff too. The jump kick is one of the best moves. Because it knocks down and sort of clears the area. Get this fire axe. Just stab that guy. So H there is for a handgun clip. If you pick up those, whenever you pick up a gun, you'll have extra ammo. Okay, just one guy left. Okay, the water doesn't hurt me, I don't think, so it's not that dangerous. Okay, nice. We got him with the extra kick when I landed. Okay, we're doing. We did pretty poorly in the beginning. Okay, let's see. Punch or kick? Punch. Got him. I love the little replay there, the sound effect. This game is so fucking good. Okay, so there's a guy taking a piss. And there's like an anti-tank rifle here. Let's get that. And... okay. Okay, got him. Okay, so... shoot to avoid the machine gun guy. They're not aligned, that's not good. Okay, out of ammo. So the machine gun... there's a guy gonna get out of one of these stalls that's gonna be quite dangerous. Big health kit. Okay, got him. Ah! See, even just a normal attack there does a lot of damage. Lost out on the health. This is not good. Look at my life. And I'm already dead, pretty much. I missed the down attack. And that's how quickly you can lose another credit. When you continue, you do get a handgun, so that makes things a little easier. You see I have the extra clips now. But this is already not a good run. See if we can... okay, I managed to get the life before... So another cool thing about this game too is that all the characters, or all the enemies, essentially are unique. You don't really have like one enemy type repeating over and over. It's not like... not literally every single character is completely unique, but there's a lot of variation considering the encounters. Like, there aren't that many enemies, really. So the gun here actually helps out quite a bit. Nice anti-air kick. This stick actually makes it a lot easier too. Life there. Okay, that went very well actually. When there's only one of the robots left, if you align with them, they'll do this laser beam. That's very difficult to avoid. So that boss fight went very well. Start to the lobby. This guy's so pissed off. So yeah, they're breaking into a safe. Nothing like Die Hard. So essentially, this is it's nothing like Die Hard because this takes place in San Francisco and not LA. So that's how you know. Also, that girl is the president's daughter and not my estranged wife. So this I always get hit in the beginning here. Let's see if I can. Okay, I managed to kind of avoid it. Oh, fuck. Please, alright. Oh, the fucking asshole in the door, I hate that guy. Okay, we get a little life here at least. So you can, let's see if I can do this. When you grab guys with a gun, you can actually arrest them. Yeah, screw you. More gun. So that guy's gonna like stay on the floor for a while until he gives up. So yeah, these shootout parts are kind of tricky. Down attack, but I got shot. And if I'm not doing much commentary here, it's because this is super intense. It's very difficult. You can jump shoot guys on the floor. Yeah, that's a 10-foot toss. Ooh, I hit the other guy. Ooh, that's a big health pickup too. Perfect. There we go. If I can just get it, that'd be great. Okay, all things considered, that didn't go too badly. That screen is a real killer. I almost always lose a credit there. So the fountain. Here, there's a fun little weapon, little throwback to Streets of Rage, if I can manage. Ah, she got me right in the nuts. If I can just pick this up. Okay, well, I'm probably not gonna. No, yeah, I lost it. But it's like a pepper shaker, and they stand still coughing, so you can like do whatever. Oh, yeah, this game is pretty tough, and that was our final credit. Whew. Oh, I feel exhausted. But yeah, that's Dynamite DecAthlete. This game rules. So where are we at? It's 3 o'clock, so I have another just under an hour. What do you say? Do you wanna see another run of this, or should I move on to something else? I could go either way, actually. Thing is, that was a pretty good run. I've made it a little further than that, but not much, actually. I think that was the halfway point or so of stage 3, and I've made it to stage 4, and there are 5 stages. Tell you what, in the interest of showing off more stuff, I think we're going to leave Dynamite DecAthlete there, and it's a quick run, just about 15 minutes, but it's an awesome game. It's super fun, and I can actually recommend. There is a PS2 version of this that was only in Japan, but it's on PSN for the PS3, and it's like a remake of this, but it's a very, very faithful remake that actually has better graphics than this, but it's still very like Saturn-like graphics, and that version is supposed to be really good. I really need to get that one of these days. Alright, so what are the options for something else? Let's find out, shall we? So, we're, well, I'm not going to really give options, but I'm going to pick another game. Dougly, no, the remake is not on US PS3. It's a Japanese. It's on PSN as like a PS2 classic in Japan. It's a Sega Aegis 2500 series Dynamite Deca. I forget the number on it, but it's one of the PS2 Sega Aegis releases that they only put on. They put quite a few of them actually on PSN in Japan. And it's, I think, like 800 yen or something. It's really cheap. So I really need to get that at some point. Anyway, so yeah, to clarify, it is a PS2 disc release, but it's also on PS3 as a PS2 classic on the Japanese PSN. Next game is going to be Astal. This is a 2D platformer that I don't know that much about it, but it's kind of cool. It really makes use of the Saturn's 2D capabilities. It's really kind of a showpiece. You could see, actually, let me show you. You can tell that this is an early game because the disc is printed with full color. They only did this for a short while in Japan. Most Saturn games you can find, they look kind of like this. They're like there's only one color on the print. In any case, Astal, I'm sure, would have been a pretty impressive game. And when you see it right away, you know that there's no way in hell that this could ever run on a 16-bit system. So let's do this and do this and yeah, Gundam Jiggeh. I think I have 2 copies of Super Robot Wars F and 1 of Super Robot Wars F Kanketsuhan. I must have picked them up in lots or something because I don't play those games at all. And let's update this while this lovely little FMV is playing. So by the way, yeah, the background that was animating for the next game stream, those are actually all games in my collection. Needless to say, we're only going to get a look at a very, a small section of my collection today. And yeah, I can see a few of you mentioning that there was a sequel to Dynamite Deca on Naomi, I guess, and it was ported to Dreamcast. Dynamite Deca 2 in Japan and Dynamite Cop in the West. I've never actually played that myself. I was always curious about it. There was also another sequel, or sort of a remake, in 2006, 2007, I think, called Dynamite Deca EX, which was, I think, also on Naomi. As far as I'm aware, it never received a home port, but Naomi emulation, I think, is pretty good these days, so probably there's a way of playing it. But my understanding is that it's more of a remix edition of sorts. It's not exactly a new game. But now that I've actually played the first Dynamite Deca a bit, I'm actually quite curious to play the other ones too. So yeah, here we have this long, epic animation telling us something about these red and green crystals. And Astal was born of the red crystal, and this chick here was born of the green one. And she has some sort of amazing power to create life or something. And Astal's task in life is to protect her. Then there's this jerk with the blonde, slick back hair who wants to cause problems, I guess. Who knows? So yeah, the whole thing of this not being a 16-bit game, needless to say, it's that started already with this lengthy FMV intro. But once you get into the game, you'll see kind of what I mean too, because this game has a lot of scaling and rotation effects, and it even has transparency effects and stuff. it's a bit of a messy look. I remember when I first bought this about 10 years ago, I didn't actually like it very much. I don't remember exactly why, but I just wasn't in love with the graphics. Just the style of them. It has kind of a painted look that is a bit like the resolution doesn't quite do it justice. But coming back to it now, I played this. I played this on stream a few weeks ago, I think, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's quite nice, and it has really good music. So not much here to change, but I just wanted one cool thing you can see here. That actually the game supports 2 players, even though there's only one hero, and you'll understand why soon enough. So Tabidachi, the journey begins. This is a little intro stage, you could call it. And yeah, already we have a pretty crazy parallax scrolling going on. All these giant painted, like not a tile as far as the eye can see, and all kinds of rotation and crazy stuff happening. So you can grab guys and throw them. You can jump and dunk them like this. You can pick up giant trees and throw them on dudes. The fruits you can pick up for health. And what's going on here? Get out of here! And yeah, I can not make up what these guys are saying at all. So screw these guys. They're being mean to my bird buddy over there. So get dunked. Get suplexed. Or whatever. It's kind of a suplex. Close enough anyway. Ugh. Bastard. Alright, got him. Hey, bird buddy. Any idea if it's expensive now? No idea. Back, like, a vast majority of my Saturn collection I built up when I was living in Japan about 10 years ago. And the most I ever spent on any game back then was something like 700 or 800 yen. Like, most of the games I bought was like somewhere between 50 and 280 yen. So I'm sure this is one of those that I just sort of picked up on a whim. Unfortunately, I have no idea how much it would cost at this point. I'm sure the American version is expensive, they usually are, and Dougley would know. But I don't think this is a, like I said, it's an early game, and it's kind of a, I would think this is like quite common. But don't quote me on that, I don't really know actually. So this glowing green thing, that's the stage exit. It's pretty happy to finish the stage. Konata, I'm streaming at a higher bitrate, but you should have quality options if the stream is buffering. So now that we have our bird buddy here, I can actually use the bird to issue commands. If I press the triggers, you can see the little icon on the bottom right there, switch. And by pressing the A button, I can issue those commands. So this one with the fruit, he'll grab a fruit for me if I need help. And he can also attack enemies and sometimes do sort of special context-sensitive things. So by pressing the A button now, for example, you see I lost a bit of my purple meter there in the middle, and I get some health for it. And I haven't quite figured out how the bird works. In some of the stages, it's a little confusing. So you can see the exclamation point there and the annoying sound. That basically means there's a context-sensitive thing. So he can attack all those eye bat things. I guess he got hurt. And when the icon shows the bird sitting on my shoulder, it basically means there's nothing you can do now. You can see that I depleted all of my purple meter there, bird meter, I guess. So when you play this with 2 players, as far as I understand it, the second player actually controls the bird. So you can have some sort of input on those things and help out. I don't know if it means you can actually do more stuff, like if you can do stuff more often or not, but it's a nice little touch. You could think of it kind of like using Tails in Sonic 2. Like, it's not really a co-op mode as such. Obviously, Tails is a bit more interactive than this bird is, but it's just something like if you have a little brother or something who's not very good at video games, they can still join in. And you can see some of the enemies have that little circle of glowing orbs around them. By killing those enemies, you build up your bird meter. Also, listen to this music. So good. Just wait them out for a bit. And that should be the goal right there. So I think this is, yeah, the first boss coming up here. Get a cool 3D effect here. Not sure how the physics of that work, but there we go, an evil eyeball bat. The boss fights are kind of straightforward. The little gem on the top right is the boss's health bar. So one thing that you might find a little awkward about this game if you first play it is that the controls are a bit... I don't know if sluggish is the right word, but like... Astel is a bit... Wow, okay, I didn't mean for him to get health from me, but... Okay, fine. That works out. Usually you can use the bird to attack the boss, which is kind of what I wanted to do. But I had the wrong thing equipped. This boss is pretty easy anyway, so it's not a big deal. But like the platforming, like you can see that Astel is like very animated, and he's kind of a big sprite too, but it's surprisingly sort of smooth and responsive. There's going to be stages later on with more demanding platforming, and it takes a little getting used to, but it's not bad at all. I love this little subtle scaling, like when you hit an enemy, they sort of squash and stretch and stuff like that. I think that's super cool. So we're done here, we're peacing out, but this asshole, I don't know, he's up to something. I don't trust him. So now we get a little cutscene here. So I'm not, I haven't played the English version of this. Part of me is curious to hear what the English version is like. But at the same time, I'm pretty confident that the English dub is not going to be that great. Dougly, if you're asking me if I have those, the answer is no. I don't have any Master System hardware or software. Wrong chat, okay. No worries. Well, if anyone does have questions about my collection, just fire them off. Alright, so we're going deep into the forest. This... Okay, it's not the stage I thought. Yeah, it's the one after this that's a bit special. So another thing that starts coming into play here on this stage is you can jump on enemies. It won't kill them, but you can bounce off them. And the game will kind of introduce this in a pretty friendly manner, like this. So you can see here, I collect the little crystal thing in between them, and here I can sort of jump off these guys and make it over safely. You can kill them too, why not? So here I can sort of jump in between them or just dunk them. So another satisfying thing about the dunk is you can actually, if you hit an enemy, any other enemies that they slam into will also get killed or get hurt. Like so. And sometimes they attack like that. Thankfully the hitbox for all your attacks are actually pretty big, so you often have longer range than it seems like you should. Same with like, well, yeah, this guy's gonna try to steal our bird. We're gonna have none of that. The worst game you have, and are you going to play it? I would say that the worst game that I have is shit, what is it called? Jiggeh Pachi Slot 4 for Saturn. It's a slot machine simulator, and I'm not going to play it. So here we actually have to make use of this guy to make it over. The water doesn't kill you, thankfully, but it hurts you and you sort of bounce out of it. What systems do I own, and one of my favorites? The sort of older systems that I own are Mega Drive, Super Famicom, and Saturn. And I have a launch PS3, which is compatible with PS1 and PS2 games, so I sort of collect those as well. My favorites for sure are Mega Drive and Saturn, and which one is my favorite? That sort of depends on which day you're asking. I love both systems a lot. Let's see. Fuck. Okay, we're alive. But I have much more familiarity with the Mega Drive. I grew up with it and I played it a lot. I also played a lot on emulators, like back in the 90s, and sort of went through a lot of the Mega Drive library back then. So I know the Mega Drive much better than I know the Saturn. But the Saturn, my sort of entry point to the Saturn was mostly arcade ports, like the Capcom fighting games and SNK stuff, and to some extent shoot 'em ups. So it's been really fun to collect and sort of explore and learn more about the Saturn library. But just in general, I really like the Saturn. As for RPGs, Gundam, not really. I've never really had much interest in RPGs as a genre. I'm much more into like arcade games and action games. I have quite a few RPGs in my collection that I've just sort of picked up, you know, either because they were part of bundles that I bought, or just you know, for sort of games that I might not be excited to play, but games that I feel like I should have an opinion on, so one day I should play through them. Like I have a few Final Fantasies and Dragon Quests and Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. And some of them, you know, I might play through one of these days. I also collect essentially exclusively Japan games. For modern games, of course, I buy local games and stuff, but in terms of in terms of my collection, in terms of the retro games, I'm from Sweden and we have shitty PAL systems here. They're super expensive and have ugly artwork and run at the wrong speed and everything. So I've never been interested in collecting PAL stuff. And if I'm gonna go through the effort of importing stuff, I'd much rather import Japanese stuff than American stuff. And I've, like I said, I've lived in Japan. I used to study Japanese at university. My Japanese isn't, you know, perfect by any means. I don't consider myself fluent, but I can speak Japanese, you know, decently enough. Certainly enough to play most games. So when it comes to RPGs and other more text-intensive games, it's something that I consider doing for practice, but it's also the type of thing that it requires you to be at kind of a base level, to enjoy it at all. Otherwise, it's just going to be too difficult or too slow and just end up being kind of frustrating. That's kind of tricky. Someone asked about, what was it? Vatlva. That's like the RC car combat thing, I think. I've looked it up and it seemed cool. I think I've bid on it on eBay. But I don't have it, no. Let's have Birdie grab me some fruit. So yeah, for this section, that guy is just gonna have, I don't know, stomach issues or whatever he's doing. But I can actually not control. I have to jump to avoid getting bounced up. But we made it through. We made it through. I do not have the Dungeons and Dragons collection. That was, of course, one of the sort of holy grails of the Saturn back in the day. But now that they've actually re-released that those games in more or less arcade perfect versions, since they're emulated, it's not something that I'm very interested in getting. Like, for the most part, my collecting, I'm not interested in sort of completing a collection. I'm not interested in, I mean, there are certain series that I want to get everything for, like Virtua Fighter, and Fire Pro Wrestling, and a few others. But otherwise, I'm not interested in paying, you know, out of my ass for a game that I'm not interested in ever playing. So for this boss, by the way, my bird is helping me out by flying up there and annoying the boss so that he lowers his head, I guess, his hand, his thing that will take damage, so I can reach and dunk on it. Otherwise, I can't reach. Okay, I gotta be a little careful here. So I have kind of a, like, I don't know, it might seem a little... Oh, this is not good. It might seem a little contradictory because I don't use like emulators and stuff, and if I was all about practicality, that's probably how I would play games, you know. But I much prefer playing on console, and I prefer sort of hunt for games. Okay, we got him. As opposed to just downloading a ROM set and playing them. So when there's a game that's like ridiculously expensive and it's available elsewhere, then I'm going to be hard-pressed to want to get the expensive version. Markin, when's Virtua Fighter CG Portraits? I was actually considering it for today, but I think that'll be some other time. I gotta practice the songs, you know, so I can do the karaoke on stream. And yeah, I don't have Radiant Silvergun. I don't have any of the like expensive Saturn games. Like I said, when I bought most of my games, they were literally like dirt cheap. I have Guardian Heroes, which I remember that was one of those sort of, not expensive games, but it wasn't one of those dime a dozen games. But even that I got in a bundle on Yahoo Auctions that I paid like 1,000 yen or 1,300 or something, and it had Guardian Heroes, 2 copies of Fighters Megamix, Baku Baku Animal, and something else, you know. So I never really spent money. Like I have games that, in the time since, I guess, have started become valuable. But honestly, in my entire collection, the only game that I sort of spent real money on was Contra the Hardcore for Mega Drive, which at the time I paid around $100 for. And I can only assume it's worth quite a bit more now, because it seems Japanese Mega Drive games have gone up in price quite a bit over the last 10 years. So, in this stage, if you hold up like this and press the attack button, you can blow on these things. You actually need to do that to extinguish these guys before you can kill them. Same with these fires when they flare up, and these dragons here. So this stage, the game sort of keeps introducing a few of these gimmicks as you go. But for Saturn specifically, if I was asked like what's the most, I don't know, like expensive or exclusive game that I have, I honestly have no idea what it would be. Maybe Guardian Heroes, I guess. I do have the RAM cartridge bundle version of X-Men vs Street Fighter. I don't know if that's valuable, but like I said, no like obscure or like super expensive games. Back when I bought most of the games, I can have them grab the thing, I guess, but whatever. It was mostly like I would go to the city, and it's like, well, my school that I was at was so in a very rural area, so it was an effort as well as an expense to like take the train to the city. And it's like if I went all the way to the city, I don't want to go home empty-handed. So let's pick up 5 or 6 games for about 50 yen each and see what they are. And that's kind of like how I built up most of my collection. So my collection is, I mean, yeah, in some cases I have bought complete trash, like not a proper games, like a few Pachislov games and stuff. But for the most part, I don't typically like buy anything. But it's also often been, oh shit, I missed. You can actually throw that rock and cover the volcano. But it's just, I mean, back in those days, you could get so many games so cheap that if I had to pay over like 1,000 yen, that felt like, you know, highway robbery. So, oops, okay. So I never, like, for example, most of the SNK games and Capcom games were not expensive, like the equivalent of maybe 15 or 20 bucks. But when I was buying games for, you know, 50 cents, 15 bucks felt very expensive. So the same is true also for most shoot 'em ups on the system. I have Darius Gaiden, and I do have the Parodius collection, but I think those are the only shoot 'em ups that I have. So as the intro showed here, you need to crouch there to avoid his wing. He comes back here, he's going to start twirling around. We need to extinguish his body and attack it. The bird really wants us to do something. We'll wait until he comes back here. But the thing is, living in Japan and buying used games in those days, it gave me a completely warped, you know, perception of prices. Oh wow, we actually killed the boss. Wow, that was... he did like 2 hits. Because for the last hit of the boss, the body disappears and the head just flies around. And you have to attack the head. So yeah, that was nice. So this stage, the Ocean of Clouds, kind of a tricky platforming stage. So honestly, even though I was of course curious about the Saturn, since I've always been a Sega fan, a large reason that I sort of got into Saturn collecting, is that it was so cheap. It was probably at that point like easily the cheapest system to start collecting. The console itself didn't cost very much. And games, like I said, you could buy like 15 games for 10 bucks, pretty much. So here on this stage, this music rules, by the way. My bird buddy here can freeze platforms for me, but it's a bit dangerous because it's not always entirely predictable when and where he'll do it. So sometimes you'll do sort of a predictive jump, and then he'll freeze another platform in midair, especially in this section, and it can kind of screw you over. When I first played this a couple weeks ago and I got here, I died a lot of times in this level, but I think I kind of got it down at this point. Let's just press A to get rid of this noise. Okay, get rid of that guy. I didn't quite ask for that, but okay. Like I said, like I haven't quite figured out the bird control, so it's a bit tricky. Okay. We're still good here. Ah, okay. So on this stage, you do die when you fall off the platforms. So I always, not always, I almost prefer to just burn my meter like that. So now we're not going to get any more help from my bird. But he's not going to start chirping or play that alarm. And the entire rest of the stage is going to be entirely predictable because I know it's going to happen. I kind of prefer it that way. I don't need the health, so I might as well just take these guys nice and slow. And just take the lower path here, no problems. And try not fucking up, that might help. So for this stuff, the platforming kind of looks, in a way it looks more difficult than it is, because your character is kind of, you know, sort of sliding around. Okay. There we go. But it's easier than you'd think to actually sort of land on platforms. Okay, now we got bird meter back here. Let's just press A immediately and... Okay, so it did freeze it there, which I kind of thought. That could have been dangerous. Got him. So this part isn't as bad as it looks, because you can crouch here and you can actually jump to avoid the bottom one. Luckily, I didn't have to stay there for very long. Let's see how we timed this then. That was not a good timing. This is better. Okay. Not quite over yet, but we're closing in on the end of the stage. Just one or two more tricky jumps left, I think. Okay. So that's the exit right there. I think we're done. Yeah. So you'll have a couple of continues. But I think I played this for about half hour. I'm reaching the end of my segment. And I managed to cover the Saturn games that I had picked out. But I actually have a kind of a bonus game that I was playing that I have been excited about for a while. Tried it briefly on stream a few weeks back, and I just tried it again today for no good reason. This is pretty cool too, by the way. So I think we're going to take a look at this. So by the way, this is another kind of a peculiar thing about Saturn games. I don't know what the deal is. We should look at this too, by the way. A whole bunch of Saturn games do have these like custom Sega screens, but they don't show when you turn on the game. They only show like after your game over. I don't know what the deal is with that. So we can look at this awesome anime opening. Good old bird buddy. Yeah, SDC, I think the graphics are cool. I think the one thing I don't like about the graphics is that the style of painting, I think this like anime style fits the character designs much better. Because when you have like just the shading and like the way that the sprites are drawn, in the game, I don't really like how they look. But I can understand too at the time, having this kind of hand-painted environments, especially, that must have been quite unique at the time, you know, because everything on 16-bit systems really was very heavily tile-based. Even arcade games usually were. So the way this game has these sort of more like custom environments, it is pretty unique. So, next game. I was talking about a bonus game. We don't have a lot of time here. I don't know if Macaw is around. I think he's about to go on at 10:02 or 4 o'clock sharp here. But we're going to have at least a few minutes to look at this game. And it's going to be, hang on here. The Hybrid Front. Not a Saturn game, a Mega Drive game. So I'm going to need an extra 30 seconds or something for setup here. This is a game that I've been weirdly enamored with for a long time. It started with me talking about like favorite Mega Drive soundtracks, and I'd mentioned that I really love the soundtrack for Golden Axe 2. So someone said that, oh, you know, you should check out Golden Axe 3 as well, because it's the same composer, and the Hybrid Front, same guy too. So I looked up the music for it, and I've been listening to it for like a long time. And sorry, I'm doing like setup and talking at the same time here. And I just sort of drew, you know, fell in love with the music and everything, and I'd find this cover art that I thought was really, really cool. But it was a strategy game, and it seemed kind of weird, so I didn't really know much about it. But I was kind of curious about it. And yes, Macaw, you are correct. That is Sumi Jun, who's done a lot of the artwork for this game. And anyway, to make a long story short, after a long time, I finally got my hands on this game, and I was so happy to discover that not only is the music awesome, the whole game is like, I don't know, I can't even put it in words. You're going to get to experience it for yourself. Here we go. Just get a load of this intro. I'm going to turn it up a bit here. So the story for this game is that there's this conglomerate of like the biggest corporations in the world or whatever, called Cocoon, and they amass their own sort of private army, and they wage war on like the Earth and win. So we're in like the game takes place at some point in like the 26th century, I think, and the plot follows these. Actually, I'm gonna shut up. So yeah, PITO, that's like the United Governments of the world. So I guess like Cocoon wages war on PITO and wins. And these couriers, like rebels, have to fight back. So yeah, what an intro, right? McCaw, I knew that you'd enjoy this. It's so sick. That's like the coolest intro. And the music, and like this music, I could go on forever. Alright, I should probably use the right controller. There we go. So yeah, Morgan mentioned this is like a tactics strategy game. That's correct. I was very worried that when I picked this up that this was going to be like Nobunaga's Ambition, that it's going to be like totally unplayable without knowing Japanese. There is a lot of text in this game, and it's very like kanji heavy. But the core gameplay is not that complicated. So let's just enjoy more of this amazing music. Take a look at this cool. So this is pretty cool. This is like a summary of world history leading up to the story of the game. And you get this lovely index of all the characters. And this artwork too is... I fucking love this artwork. So Sharira, she's like the main character, I guess. Paul Simino, like one of her allies. Peter Kane, he's also on the cover. This dude whose name I cannot read. So, like, my challenge out to anyone out there is to play this game and try to like sit still and not bob your head to this music, because like how can you not? Yeah, like I said, this the text is very kanji heavy. So I'm sure there's like a ton of lore to really get into if you really want to. This probably is one of the most Japanese heavy games I've seen on the Mega Drive. Or like, not that it has a lot of text, but it's all like, very clearly this game is for an older audience. Like it seems to be kind of a, like my calls of the intro looked like a PC 98 game, and the whole game seems like a computer game really in its sort of stylings. But okay, enough of the characters here. Let's see if we can make it through our first mission. I'm not sure I'm on time, but we'll at least get a sense for how the game looks and how it works. So prologue here. I'm gonna just skip this. I'll show you just in advance. You see that there's a lot of text and there's some dialogue coming up eventually. I guess not. So that, yeah, okay, they explain it. So Monogatari wa koku kara hajimaru. This is where the story begins. Scenario 1, Blood-Sprayed Silk Road. So yeah, here for the intro for the stage, they explain the story and we have these like dialogue scenes. So this is pretty cool too. You have more of these character portraits, and they actually have like different facial expressions and stuff too. So anyway, the point of this mission is to escort, or to put our troops out of harm's way, basically. So this looks very intimidating, but this is quite simple. This is like setting up for the mission, and we can look at our different troops and see their stats, and we can equip different weapons and stuff. But we can just go to this option here and just automatically set up everything, and then go to mission start. Oh, okay. There we go. So Sharila and Paul are going to be part of our units, and these guys are just generic troops. And we're ready to go. So the winning and losing conditions here. The winning condition is to get at least 3 of our units to the bottom of the map, or like destroy all of, or I think, yeah, Kodzen, text there yellow, it's a character, I think, or a special unit. We can destroy him to win. Losing condition is losing all of our units, and we have 15 turns to win. So here we get to place our units when we begin. I think you can just press start here, yeah, and automatically place them. So this is the kind of stuff you need to understand. This is cancel and this is confirm. Okay, turn 1. Sharila scene. Let's go. We get a lot of these little dialogue scenes, and we get more of this amazing music. So the guys in brown here, these are actually our allies, and the guys in red are the enemy force. So there's a lot of dialogue and stuff in this game, and I think, you know, if my Japanese was better, I'd get more out of this game. Like, I really want to read all this. It would be a dream come true, really, to see this translated into English. But I think the artwork and the music and the presentation, everything is so good that even if I can't really understand the story, I'm happy to play this because it's just so cool. So this guy doesn't look... Yeah, he looks like bad news. And I should try not to talk so much so you can hear this music. Okay, so there we go. So this works very similar to like Fire Emblem or Advance Wars, stuff like that. So the winning condition is to reach the bottom of the map, and the easiest way to do that is probably to go down here. When I tried this before, I tried going this way, but you kind of get... Or I tried to split up, and that was not a good idea. So I grab a unit here, and there's a lot of... this is movement, attack... I'm not sure what this is. This is escape. But you can like check conditions to see stats and all kinds of stuff. You have these different types of terrain. You can see that on the bottom, where you get you get more cover, I guess. So I can check the conditions here if I want to make sure it's good or bad or whatever. I'm just gonna decide here. So we're gonna move our guys. Let's put him here where he's more protected, I think. So Charla is in the truck, so I guess she can go a little further. I mean, for everyone saying that the graphics look lame, I think this looks... I mean, it's hardly below par for this type of game. And the combat animations, they're really well done too. Like I'm inclined to say, look at this fucking pixel art, because the pixel art on the units, not on this screen, but on the combat screen, is amazing. So now it's their turn, and this music, if possible, is like even better. So this song, it's impossible to sit still when this song is playing. So they're thinking, and thankfully they're not gonna like use all their units. So he used a grenade, and you can only use them if you haven't moved, but the range is 2 units. Yeah, and listen, I mean, it's certainly not worse than you'd expect. And I think these scenes are super cool. Like the portraits and the vehicles, they look great. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to finish this mission, but it's I'm super happy to be able to show this off, because this is a game that I think it deserves more recognition. Like I said, on a sort of by chance, I happened to be recommended the soundtrack, but it's not only like, for me, I think easily one of the best soundtracks on the Mega Drive. It's a really cool game of its type too. You know, if you're into this type of game, I think this seems like a really good game. And it's a late era like first party game from Sega. It's a '94 game, I think. So I think it's a bit strange why this game has been so overlooked, really. So okay, well let's move this little bit over here so we can make room for more of our units. And now we can attack. I get to choose my weapon here. 7.62mm machine gun, Viper ATM, which I'm not exactly sure what it is, or a flamethrower. I'm not sure exactly what those stats mean. I guess RNG in this case means range and not random number generator. Hit, I don't know, like the damage and stuff seems kind of samey anyway. Okay, so okay. Cursor is a bit finicky. So if you wanted to get really into it, you can actually read up on all the stats and stuff. So as you can see on the combat screen too, like the units. What's this? Hang on, I'm trying to find which guy is my. Okay, so this guy is not doing. Or, hang on, this guy's not doing well. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. He's our buddy, but screw it. So let's move over here and. Actually, before we do that, let's switch to this guy here. He can use a grenade gun. Oh yeah, so this is Paul before. And it has longer range, so he can actually attack these other guys. Cursor's a bit finicky. So let's see if we can, more than one guy can attack here. Maybe we can actually clear out this unit. I love that the camera, when the camera moves to show the guy getting hit, the camera sort of wobbles a bit, as if it's a handheld camera. I think that's a really cool little touch. Although actually when I get here, I realize I should probably attack shotgun or Godzuka, I think. I'm not sure what kind of weapon that is. But let's attack this vehicle. Seems like a bigger threat. Okay, we actually did a chunk of damage there. So, as I said, I wasn't sure about the timing because, as you can see, this is a bit of a. It takes some time. Like it's not the most fast-paced game. I'm pretty happy with these guys, where these guys are. So I'm just gonna press start here and end my turn. So now it's Peter's team. Oh, Maniattaka! So these guys are showing up here in the nick of time. Yare yare, zuibun to hade koto ni natteru na. So they're these buddies of mine showing up at the last second to help me out, which doesn't really make much of a difference. But hey, you know, they're welcome, I guess. Yeah, Konata, like I said, it's very difficult to read or understand, but thankfully the gameplay is not that complicated as far as these games go. So I have, I guess, 5 more minutes or so. Let's see if we can speed things up a bit here. And I don't think there's any like super exciting graphics or anything after winning the fight, but we might get to hear another song. Okay, rip that guy. Yes, Kun. There's 2 credited artists. There's Suemi Jun, who did the cover art, and there was another artist credited for like in-game portraits, I think, but I'm not sure if these portraits are like who did what exactly. There's also someone who I guess is famous, I'm not sure, credited for the mecha designs. Like if you look at all the sort of vehicles and stuff, they're pretty pretty cool designs, I think. Like this little hover bike. So this is like, I tried to do some research and I was wondering if this game had sort of common ancestry with any other games, and the director for this game worked on some other Sega games. He worked on like Virtua Cop and I can't remember what else, Virtual Racing or something maybe. Like one of the producers worked on Golden Axe 2 along with the composer, but there's actually like not a lot of hang on, okay, my screen just went black. Okay, we're good, surprisingly, like there's not a lot of because I wanted to see if there were other games, sort of you know, spiritual successors. Let's do Viper ATM, whatever that is. But I couldn't really find any. I recently also picked up another game called Ninja Burai Densetsu, or Burai Ninja, I forgot which is a very similar style of game, which also has really good music, but it's ninja themed. But it's a cool game, so I thought maybe let's do the shotgun. So I thought maybe that game and this game were related because they're so similar, but apparently not. There's like no staff between them that's the same. So it's kind of peculiar. This seems like such a polished product that it seems almost weird for it to come out of nowhere. That's not what I had in mind. I think I just blew up my own guy. Well, that's what you get for throwing long distance grenades, I guess. So even having a first-party Sega game exclusive for Japan in Mega Drive '94 is almost strange. But I'm glad it came out because it's super cool. Let's see if we can. That's gonna be it for this turn. I think.
Stand by for it.
If we're lucky here, we could actually take it next turn. The tiles where the road is broken, it's kind of slow to travel across. But otherwise, the road, like the different terrain, you get like more movement on the roads and stuff like that. All right, Cody. See you around, and if you're still there, huge thanks for arranging this. It's been a blast. Yeah, I think I tend to imagine that strategy in general as a genre was probably, at its biggest when sort of PC gaming in Japan was at its biggest. So I would imagine that it's more of a niche genre now that's kind of relegated to a few series. Although it depends. I know like Fire Emblem is super popular. So I guess there's some games with more RPG elements that are perhaps a bit more popular. Anyway, I think there's like no guarantee that I'm gonna win this in this turn. It's just gonna take longer, and I'm gonna run over time. So I think I'm actually gonna wrap things up here. And I guess if you're dying to know how this mission ends, or see what happens next, you're gonna have to tune into my stream at some point. So I guess I can do just some last minute chilling before I sign off. I stream a bit of everything. It's actually only very recently that I've been able to stream my old consoles. I just picked up the hardware I needed a few weeks ago, and since then, and since I've been on vacation, I've been like streaming a lot, just going through my library and buying new games and shit. But otherwise, I do a lot of just random stuff. I play Mega Drive, Saturn, Super Famicom stuff, but I also play newer games. I have a project where I'm trying to get through my backlog of games that I bought in the last, 10 years, which is a never-ending quest to actually play games and not just buy them. Otherwise, I like to collect sort of oddities and unusual games in weird genres and stuff, and I try to showcase to the best of my ability like what these games are and why they're interesting to me. So if you enjoyed my segment here, thank you so much for watching, and please consider giving me a follow. And stay tuned, of course, for Macaw. He's pretty much the best streamer on Twitch, so this segment's easily gonna be better than mine. Thank you for sitting through all this strategy, whatever, and yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess. Macaw, are you around to get started? I just want to get confirmation from Macaw in chat before I sign off here. There's a code to see the ending in this game. Cool. I should look that up, Kosher. It's I didn't actually look up any cheats or codes or anything for this. Okay, Macaw is ready. Then I'm gonna sign off here and type OK Go in chat. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I had a blast. I hope you had a good time too. And thank you for organizing this, Cody. You're awesome. So yeah, that's gonna be it.